Okay, so good afternoon, students. Good afternoon to every one of you. So you remember that in the last class we were talking about the different environmental the problems, the environmental issues that takes place, and one among them is radioactive waste. So why I have come again to this slide is yesterday someone had asked me the question. That is Atiya. She had asked me the question regarding whether does it affect if the radioactive waste goes into the water. So the answer is yes. What used to happen is during from the nuclear energy nuclear plant setup was started, that is something around in 1986, something around that time. So what happened was till 1993 they used to dump these radioactive waste or the nuclear waste into the water only. That is oceanic dumping of radioactive waste that used to be done. In the first started with the Pacific Ocean, and they used to do it until 1993. That where the ban on the dumping of radioactive waste in the water was, there was a ban implemented for the dumping these radioactive waste into the water. Okay, this radioactive waste into the water, it was said not to do it because this radionuclides are nothing but small concentration like ball like these radioactive things were seen in the water. So because of which they said that not to dump radioactive waste into the water, whereas now the dumping of this radioactive waste is done with a concrete that has been with something 500 meters down. They dig the pit, build one concrete, and the radioactive waste with this, in a steel containers or any such thing, they are being dumped inside so that it doesn't affect the environment or any human being or any organism as such. Okay, so for reason radioactive waste dumping can be problematic for the human beings as well, because if in the water, if the organism comes in contact with this radioactive waste, then it can be injurious and also dangerous, sometimes lethal as well, which I said yesterday also. Lethal is nothing but, it is totally lethal is nothing but fatal means death. Okay, lethal is nothing but it can be death, it can lead to death. Okay, lethal is nothing but death. Lower doses can cause disorders, that is cancer or any such genetic problems, whereas in higher dose, it totally kills the person. It can be fatal. Okay, so what the basic thing is, radioactive waste are dangerous. Okay, radioactive waste are dangerous, which it is allowed to go into the atmosphere or into the environment. It can create many such problems in the human beings, whereas it doesn't show any pollution as such in, like they say that there is no pollution as such, but it can be very dangerous for any organism. It can be any dangerous for any organism. Okay, the examples which I had told you about the disasters, which was for Chernobyl, then was Hiroshima Nagasaki. The radioactivity, which was still the activity was still showing. Still, there are so many problems regarding the radioactivity which is happening, which had happened long back, something around 1947, and that something around 1945, or and this is Chernobyl in something around 1986. Okay, so radioactive waste are dangerous. Okay, let us go to the next one, that is very important and a very what I should say interesting topic, that is greenhouse effect and global warming. Okay, first before we actually know what is greenhouse effect. Okay, first before we actually know what is greenhouse effect, let us okay, let us know what it is, how it is beneficial also, and how it is in the exceeding level. It can be a problematic or the issue or something which we have to look for, so that it can be controlled. Okay, so that it can be controlled. So let us know more about what is greenhouse effect. Okay. Okay, I guess there is some issue. Okay, fine. Let's be. We'll know. Just we'll see the video one anytime later. Okay. First, let us know what is greenhouse effect and global warming. Greenhouse effect is nothing but which you can see here in the screen as well. What happens here is. What happens here? There is an atmospheric blanket like thing which covers. Here, can you see here? A blanket like thing which covers the earth. Okay, blanket like thing covers the earth. Most of the heat is absorbed by the greenhouse gas. What happens from the sun? From the sun, the sunlight reaches the earth. Okay, the sunlight reaches the earth. Some energy is reflected back into the space. Some energy gets reflected back. Some is absorbed. Okay, most of the heat is absorbed by the greenhouse gases and reflected in all the directions, warming the earth. What happens is some of them are trapped in this atmospheric blanket. Okay, where greenhouse gases contains. Okay, where greenhouse gases contain. What happens is they absorb most of the heat. Okay, greenhouse gases absorb most of the heat and some of them are reflected back. Now why a greenhouse effect is a problem, or a greenhouse increase in the greenhouse effect is a problem? The progressive warming of earth's surface due to increase of greenhouse gases is called as greenhouse effect. So the first thing you have to remember is greenhouse gases are important. It's because so that it can control the temperature. Okay, we can have a proper temperature on the earth. If not for greenhouse gases, we will there will be no proper control over there will be fluctuation of temperature. So it is very important for this atmospheric blanket is very important, which consists of greenhouse gases, which can control or stabilize the temperature of the earth. But if in case what happens if it increases, okay, if these greenhouse gases, the production of these greenhouse gases increases, so they can be problematic as well. Okay, they can be problematic as well. So we'll know what are the greenhouse effect and how the greenhouse effect leads to global warming as well. Okay, so remember the definition, the progressive warming, important definition, the progressive warming of Earth's surface due to increase of greenhouse gases is called as greenhouse effect. Okay, the progressive warming of Earth's surface due to the increase of greenhouse gases is called as greenhouse effect. So, about the greenhouse gases is carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, and water vapor. Okay, carbon dioxide, greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, CFCs, that is chlorofluorocarbons, and water vapors. Okay, this all together makes the greenhouse gas. Okay, this all together makes the greenhouse gas. So, as I had told you earlier itself, that greenhouse gases are important. It makes one kind of a blanket around the earth and stabilizes the temperature of the earth. Okay, stabilizes the temperature of the earth. But the thing is, if not in case it is happening, as the greenhouse gases are increasing, the production is increasing, the release of carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, CFCs from aerosols, from refrigerators, from the air conditioners, and all as the CFCs are also increasing, because of which what is happening is the greenhouse gases increase. Law What happens is that also increases is the trapping of the heat. Okay, that also increases the trapping of the heat, because of which it leads to global warming. Because of which it leads to global warming. Okay, so that means there has to be greenhouse gases. It is important, but also it has to be in a control. Okay, it has to be in a control. We'll see one video regarding the greenhouse gases only, but which is due to some technical issue, must be not working. We'll know more about greenhouse gases and its effect in that. Okay, so for now, you just remember the progressive warming of Earth's surface due to increase of greenhouse gases is called as greenhouse effect. Okay, the progressive warming. What happens because of the trapping of the heat by this atmosphere, that is the greenhouse gases? What happens? The Earth temperature increases. Okay, the Earth temperature increases, leading to warming of the Earth, which is known as global warming. Okay, greenhouse effect. Greenhouse effect is a major reason for global warming. Okay, greenhouse effect is a major reason for global warming. What happens here? The sunlight reaches the earth's surface. Some of them is re-radiated to the space. Some of them are radiated inside, and some of the heat are absorbed by these greenhouse gases, which is like a blanket-like structure over here. That is the atmosphere captures it. Okay, captures it and warms the earth. Okay, captures it and warms the earth, and it reflected to all the direction. You can see over there, it is reflected to all the directions. Okay, these are the greenhouse gases. If it is asked that which are the greenhouse gases, the greenhouse gases are carbon dioxide, methane, nitrous oxide, chlorofluorocarbons. Okay, chlorofluorocarbons which come from chloro chlorofluorocarbons, CFCs, which come from aerosols, refrigerators, then air conditioners, okay, air conditioners, and many such human activities, because of which the CFCs are allowed to go into the atmosphere. Okay, they are chlorofluorocarbons, and next is water vapor. These are the greenhouse gases. And now coming to what is global warming. Okay, so you have a picture, you have an idea that what is global warming is. Yes or no? You have an idea that what is global warming is. And global warming is nothing but the warming of the temperature of the earth. Okay, or an increase in the temperature of the earth. Or that is nothing but called as global warming. Increase in the Earth's average surface temperature due to effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide emissions from burning fossil fuels and from deforestation, which trap heat that would otherwise escape from Earth. This is a type of greenhouse effect. So, what is this definition says now? Okay, global warming is the increase of Earth's average surface temperature. Okay, the surface temperature what is there of the Earth, that increase of this temperature is nothing but called as global warming. It is due to the effect of greenhouse gases. Okay, as the greenhouse gases increases, the heat trapment or absorption of the heat increases, because of which the temperature of the Earth increases. Okay, because of which the temperature of the earth increases, and that leads to global warming. That leads to global warming. There are many such effects of the global warming, but the reason for the global warming is carbon dioxide emission from the burning fossil fuels, that is by the burning of the wood, coals, the carbon dioxide emission takes place. Then from the deforestation, by the cutting of the trees, the effect of global warming takes place, because there is no proper stabilization of the temperature which takes place on the earth, which trap the heat would otherwise escape from the earth. What happens is, if there is required that minimum greenhouse gases are required, but if it increases, what happens is, if it increases, the greenhouse gases, as it increases, it traps more and more heat. Okay, otherwise that heat would have escaped out. Okay, otherwise that heat would have escaped out. Because of the increase of the greenhouse gases, the entrapment of the heat takes place. Okay, the entrapment of the heat takes place, which results in the warming of the earth. Okay, global warming is a type of a greenhouse effect. Okay, remember only this. Global warming is nothing but increase of Earth's average surface temperature. Okay, increase of the Earth's average surface temperature due to the effect of greenhouse gases. Greenhouse gases how they are emitted out. How the production of the greenhouse gases takes place, because of the deforestation, because of the burning of the fossil fuels, because from the aerosols, refrigerators, air conditioners. Okay, from the methane from the methogenic organisms and all, because of which methane from the some of the factories, industries as well. What happens is, because of which the greenhouse gases increases, that leads to the global warming. Okay, that leads to the global warming. Global warming is nothing but increase of the Earth's average surface temperature. due to the effect of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide emissions from burning of fossil fuels or from deforestation, which traps the heat and would otherwise escape from the earth. That would have escaped from the earth because of the increase of the greenhouse gases. They entrap more and more heat. Okay, and this is a type of a greenhouse effect. Okay, this is the type of a greenhouse effect. Next, coming to effect of global warming. What actually global warming does? You can see there indicators of the warming world. What actually are the indicators? Now, what is the effect of global warming? What you must have heard in news as well, in any of the social media, newspapers, news, or anywhere as such, about people in the books, in the books also, that many of them talk about global warming. Okay, and the effects that is happening, what is because of global warming, what is happening, what are the effects that is taking place on the earth, on the human beings, on the organisms, either it is about the plants or animals. Okay, how animals are also getting extincted because of global warming and all. So there are so many effects that is happening because of global warming, and global warming happens. Global warming is taking place because of deforestation, because of the these gases allowed to go into the atmosphere by the industries, by the factories, then for burning of the fossil fuels, because of which carbon dioxide increases, automobiles, because of which the carbon dioxide increases in the atmosphere, and because of which the greenhouse gases, there is an increase in the greenhouse gases content. Okay, so effect of global warming. What is the effect of global warming? Deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in all climatic changes. Okay, deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in the odd climatic changes because of global warming. Because of global warming, we see this odd climatic changes. Climatic changes is nothing but we see there is no proper seasonal what you know seasons going on. Some anytime it rains, it can rain. The summer, it during the monsoon, sometime it doesn't rain. Okay, because of this is all because of global warming. Okay, the rainfall, the rainfall can be anytime in the winters or in the late summers and all. It because of this because of effect of global warming. Okay, deleterious changes in the environment. Deleterious changes in the environment means what? Which we cannot delete it later. First thing is, once it these ice caps or the glaciers they melt, we cannot get back into the glaciers form or in the ice cap forms again for them, because of which they have already got melted up and got into the waters and rivers, rising the sea level. Okay, rising the sea level. Okay, it is very, very important for us to know what are the effects of the global warming and how it is affecting our planet, climatic changes, our organisms, our environment as well. Okay, deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in the all climatic changes. We can see the climatic changes. We can observe it now itself. We see it in your day-to-day times that people say that during the till the late monsoon it was not raining. It's because of the global warming. Then till the late December's and all, sometimes it will rain. It's because of all the effect of global warming which is happening. No proper seasonal changes taking place. Huge climatic changes taking place because of warming up of the Earth's surface. Okay. Next is increased melting of the polar ice caps as well as the other places like the Himalayan snow caps as well. You can see over here. See here, indicators of the global warming: glaciers melting, snow cover melting, then humidity increasing. Okay, spring coming earlier, spring season coming earlier, trees shifting poleward and upward. Means what happens? Trees line shifting. As you can see over here, because of no proper afforestation happening and all, what happens is these trees which are present in the mountains and all, they are shifting towards the poleward and upward, resulting into no terrestrial trees present on the earth surface. Species migrating poleward and upward. The species migrating means migration from one place to another when they go. Then uh, then decrease in the sea ice. You can see over here decrease in the sea ice. Then ocean heat content increasing, sea level increasing, sea surface temperature increasing, ice sheets getting melted, that is decreasing in the ice sheets, or air temperature near surface getting increased, that is in the troposphere, and the temperature over oceans increasing, and also humidity increasing. Okay, as the humidity increasing, so many climatic change we can see. Okay, so many climatic change we can see. These all are the indicators of the warming world. That is nothing but the global warming. That means there is a when you see these many changes happening, okay, when you see these many changes happening, one among them is the glaciers and the ice caps melting only. What happens is you have to know that somewhere we are going wrong and the global warming is taking place. Okay, and the global warming is taking place. Rise in the sea level that can submerge many coastal areas. Okay, so this is very, very important for us to know. Many of such islands, many of such villages have also been drowned in this water and been vanished away as well because of the effect of global warming and the rise in the sea level around the coastal areas. Okay, what has happened is as the sea level rises, you can see over here, as the sea level rises, the water can totally submerge many coastal areas. This, as the sea level keeps on rising, they can totally submerge this the land area. Okay, submerge this land area because the sea level is rise because of the sea ice melting, the ice sheets melting, glaciers melting, snow cover melting, snow caps melting, because of which all the water will come into the these rivers, oceans, and the water bodies, because of which the sea level will increase. You must have read somewhere, had been watched in any of the news channels and all, how they keep on giving the alerts. Also, the scientists would keep giving alerts, environmentalists keep giving alerts that how it has went out of the hand or out of the way from how the global warming has gone out of the way from us, because it's now it is very difficult until and unless we do not cut down the consumption of these automobiles, or we do not take any effective measures so that the greenhouse gases and all can be controlled properly. Okay, and also afforestation, then the lessening, no, totally banning deforestation and all must be taken place. Must and give more and more importance to afforestation so that we can control to some extent the global warming, which have already been like totally ruined it for the environment, for the organism, and for humans as well. Okay, so effect of global warming is deleterious changes in the environment and resulting in the odd climatic changes. Okay, we see odd climatic changes anytime we see any seasonal changes. See, as you can see here, spring coming earlier in the picture. You can see here spring coming earlier. We can see different climatic changes happening also because of the global warming. Then increase melting of the ice caps, polar caps, because of which it is also very difficult for those organisms, those animals, those plants which which survive in these conditions, that is in the polar ice caps, and in those areas where it is in Himalayan ranges and all, it is very difficult for those organisms as well to survive because of the melting of these ice caps or these ranges, okay, Himalayan ranges. Rise in the sea level that can submerge many coastal areas. Okay, now how we can control the global warming? Okay, the first thing is you have to remember is raise your voice, not the sea level. Sea level is nothing but global warming. Okay, we have to raise our voice against the global warming, not the sea level. So why I have put this here is because we only can do it and we only should do it, because reduce use of fossil fuel. Okay, fossil fuel like burning of the coal, then burning of the petroleum, burning of the kerosene, burning of the wood also are the reason for the global warming. Okay, are also the reason for the global warming, because of which the greenhouse gases, there is an increase of greenhouse gases, and greenhouse gases or a greenhouse effect is a the greenhouse effect uh, is the reason for the global warming. It is the main reason for the global warming. Improving efficiency of energy usage. Okay, to increase the efficiency of energy usage, that is, we have to look forward so that we improve the efficiency of energy usage. How we do it? Okay, do not waste the energy. Do not just keep cut down these things where we can save the energy. Okay, where we can save the energy, cut down those things where there is a high usage of the energy, or make sure that at least from our side we do it the most so that we can save energy. Do not waste water. Do not keep the these electrical appliances in on when not in use. Those things we can just make sure that we do it for our planet, for us. Okay, that is for the global warming, for the controlling of the global warming. Then that is the reducing deforestation. That is very important, to not to cut down the trees. Deforestation is nothing but cutting down of the trees. Okay, remember, deforestation is nothing but cutting down of the trees. Deforestation is nothing but cutting down of the trees. So we should cut down of cutting down of the trees. That we should not cut the trees. Okay. Promoting afforestation. Okay, promoting afforestation is nothing but planting of trees. So there are many such days done. That is, Earth Day is done, Water Day is done, Environmental Day is done. That is, we observe it on June 5th. So, what is important? Why these all days are done, so that we create awareness among the people for the planting of the trees. Okay, for the planting of the trees and not cutting down of the trees, which is very important. So that we plant trees. If there is a falling of one tree also, so we should make sure that we are growing few more trees, so that it doesn't affect the cutting down of that one tree at least. Okay, but we should not deforest. That is the main motive. We should keep that, promote afforestation. We should promote planting of the trees and plants. Okay, we should promote planting of the trees and plants. We should plant trees. Okay, so these all days are seen or observed, so that there is awareness among the people about the afforestation, about their planet, and about the earth as well. Okay. And so to promote afforestation, that the planting of trees. Afforestation is nothing but to plant trees, or to plant plants. Okay, to afforestate where the place has become totally barren, or deforestation has taken place. Let us making an effort to plant a tree, and to make sure that it doesn't affect, as the deforestation is done, it doesn't affect our planet. Okay, next is slowing down the growth of human population. That is very important, because of the increase in the human population, the increase in the consumption of the resources, because of which the cutting down of the trees, these plants, then using of the fossil fuels, or using of the automobiles, everything is being rapidly increasing because of the human population increase. Okay, every second house will have so many of vehicles which will run, which will be made use by each one of the person, because of which there is so much of we are being contributing for the greenhouse effect as well. Okay, so that's very important, to slow down the human population. Okay, to slow down the human population. Next is international initiative to be taken to reduce emission of the greenhouse gases. Yes, it's very important. International initiative must be taken, so that the reduction of the emission of greenhouse gases should be taken place. That is one of the major reason is carbon dioxide, which has been emitted out by all the automobiles, all those vehicles, whoever, from everywhere. You just, whenever you go out, you just see the increase of the carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which later increases the which later makes the increase or contributes in the increase of the greenhouse gases. Okay, greenhouse gases. So, control of global warming, reduce use of fossil fuel is important, improving efficiency of energy use, reducing deforestation, that is cutting down of trees, promoting afforestation, planting of trees, slowing down the growth of human population very important, because as the human population will increase, the as the human population will increase, the consumption for the resources also will increase, due to which it can also lead to global warming. Yes, it will, because as the consumption for the resources increases, the what happens is the pressure falls down onto the manufacturer, where they cut down the trees, they make buildings, then metros, then many such things they build for the human, for their benefit. And because that, as the human population increases, it's very difficult to control the people number in a very in such small in small vehicles. And also because of which what happens is the increase in the vehicles also, there are increase in the vehicles also, because of which it can lead to global warming. International initiative to be taken to reduce emission of greenhouse gases. Okay, so this is about all about greenhouse gas. Then greenhouse gas effect and global warming. We'll know more about it. Okay, we'll know more about the greenhouse effect in the video. We'll know how the greenhouse effect is affecting our earth, and is it how important also it is, which are the we learned today about the greenhouse gases, different greenhouse gases, and about the global warming, what is global warming is, and why it is happening, what is the effect of global warming, and what is the control of global warming. Okay, in the next class we'll know about more about ozone layer. So what is ozone layer, and how it works, and what is happening to the ozone layer, how the global warming is affecting the ozone layer as well. Okay, so if there are any doubts regarding this topic about the global warming, about the greenhouse effect, if you can ask me personally, as well as you can ask me in the next class. Please note down the points. Please note down the points. Go through the points. Read it once. If there is any doubt, do ask me. If you do not understand anything, do ask me in the next class. Okay, do ask me in the next class. Do not keep the doubts to yourself. Okay, any small word also, if you do not understand, please do tell me in the next class. Okay, so this is about greenhouse effect and global warming. So we'll see one video about greenhouse effect as well, that how it is affecting and how it is important as well. Okay, how it is important, but if it exceeds, how it is difficult to control, and how it is a reason for the global warming. Okay, thank you so much. Have a nice day.